best bites forever.
Hey, what's up everyone? In this video I'm making tzatziki sauce. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's rock it out. Okay, so let me show you my setup here. I have a bowl, a strainer, and my box grater. You can use whatever, to grate it up. I don't recommend a food processor because it doesn't come out the same. So this cucumber that I have here is an English cucumber. The seeds are much smaller in these. If you take a look, you can see, and you can peel it if you want to, and actually you can see that the peel does grade, but on this side it's being a little bit uncooperative. So sometimes I peel mine, sometimes I don't. That's going to be totally up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and finish grating this guy. I do like to leave the peel because of the color. So again, it's up to you. So once you get your cucumber all nice and peeled, you're going to add some salt into it, and the salt is going to help get the excess moisture out of it, because if you have too much moisture you're going to have a watery tzatziki. So I'm just going to put, this is about a teaspoon of salt directly on top of my cucumber here. I'm going to kind of stir it around a little bit just to get everything coated in that salt. The salt is going to draw out the water. So right now you can look and see already I have a ton down there, but, well, a ton. I'm going to get quite a bit more, and we're going to set this over to the side for about 10 minutes. While that is doing its thing, I'm going to put about a cup, and I'm not measuring. Tzatziki is not like, you don't have to get crazy. This is probably about a cup, maybe a cup plus a couple of tablespoons. So that's going to go into my bowl. Again, if you want to measure it out, go for it, but it's not really meant to be complicated, so I'm not going to make it complicated. Next, I'm going to get just a little bit of lemon zest, like a tiny little bit, because I want to save some of the zest. And this doesn't have to go in there. This is just something that I like in there. I'm also going to get a little bit of zest for my garnish and just kind of put it over to the side. Once I get a little zest, I'm going to cut this dude in half. Pull out that seed. And just put a little bit of the juice in here. Maybe a half of a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Again, I'm not going to get really fussy about measuring. So for the herbs, it's kind of up to you, but I like to use dill and mint. I think that they're both pretty traditional, probably dill more so, but some people only use mint, some people only use dill. I have both in my fridge today, and I like both, so I'm going to go ahead and use both. So I'm just going to give these a nice little chop. And little note here, I know I've said this before, but when you're chopping your herbs, you don't want to go over them and over them and over them and over them like a million times, because what ends up happening is you leave behind the oil from the herbs on your cutting board, and then you don't get all of that delicious flavor into whatever it is that you're making. This is going in here. And then to chop up my mint, I'm just going to do a chiffonade. So basically what you're going to do is lay the leaves on top of each other like so. Roll them up. See, so you have like a little rolled up guy like so. And then just go across it. And you're trying to make tiny little ribbons, which is what a chiffonade is. Alright, I'm going to just kind of pull those apart a teeny little bit. Give them a little shake and love. And then they are going in there also. So I'm just going to stir this up until everything is mixed in really well. And I do like pepper in my tzatziki, but I don't like the little black flecks, so I'm going to use just a little bit of white pepper. And you can do this to your own taste. I'm putting in probably, I don't know, 1/8 of a teaspoon-ish. I'm making a little batch here, so I don't need a whole lot. I'm not adding salt right now because we have salt in our cucumber that is sitting over there, so don't forget about that. So we are at about 10 minutes later, and this is what the water is looking like in there, quite a bit. But I do want to get out some more, so I'm going to put this plop onto a paper towel. And if you happen to have a cloth napkin that's lint-free, that works really well for this too. But I have some nice strong paper towels, and I doubled them up, so I'm just going to fold it up and give it a nice little squeeze. And can you see all the liquid coming out? So there's definitely a ton. You need to get as much as you possibly can out. It broke through, but that's okay. I'm going to fold it over and continue doing this until I get all of the water that I can out. And Just if you are using paper towels, like don't even try to use paper towels if you're not using the super thick, extra strong, which is what I'm using, and I even managed to tear those. So big, thick paper towels only. So this is what I ended up with after it's all squeezed out. It's pretty pitiful, huh? Just a really small little amount of cucumber left. And this is going into my yogurt, and I'm going to stir it up. So after you finish stirring this, what you want to do is cover it with plastic wrap and then put it into the refrigerator for at least 3 to 4 hours. Don't even think about serving it until then. But before you do that, you need to give it a little taste test. So after I finish stirring it here, I'm going to taste it and just make sure that I'm happy with the salt and the pepper. That is looking really delicious. Really, really good. I'm not going to adjust anything. Keep in mind, if you're adding the lemon can take over really, really easily. So if you don't like lemon in your tzatziki, don't put it in there at all. And if you do want lemon, just the tiniest little amount is all that you need. So this is going into the fridge for 3 or 4 hours. Of course, here is my plate up. I served this with my beef kefta. I will leave a link down below to that, along with my Tabbouleh Salad, and I will also leave a link to that down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy cooking, everyone!
bestbitesforever.com